I'm very sure we have different classes of people here. So if you ever attended a primary school with school bus, I mean, can I see your hand? Yeah, school bus, cool. Just like me, yeah. All right, and no, we have different grades of school buses. If your school bus had AC, can I see? I mean primary school, yes. I also went to a school where though the school didn't really give us school bus, but we actually created one for ourselves. After closing hour, there used to be this truck that goes by exactly 2:11. So we just chill. At the point when the bus, of course, no student crossing area, you have to slow down. At that point, we all jumped the back of the pickup, and that was our school bus. That was very fine. My parents didn't know, but there was a day I was caught. My mom's friend saw me. The vehicle was about dragging me because I was very short. It was about dragging me off, and she ran and took me. To my mom, I was flogged. What am I saying? Some of us here started with a very rough background. Okay? If you ever patched your knicker, I'm speaking from primary school, so you know how far it started. Now, if you ever patched your knicker, can I see your hand? Good. I think I have a lot of fans there. Now, we have different designs, okay? We have Adidas. Are we together? Yeah, different designs. But it's only in my own case that you see a single shirt having several designs. Jordan was there, Adidas was there, and well, I think I was advertising anyway. I didn't mind. So, while I left secondary school very early, I think earlier than anybody here. I don't know, 14 and a half. Yeah, thank you. So when I left my secondary school, my parents were like, oh, this boy is too bright. I was ahead of my elder sister. You know, she was still there. You know, all of them went to very two schools, so I was the only person. And when I left my secondary school, I was one of the people that had the best results. And I had 4 papers. And then, for the kind of school I actually finished from. So things were not very good, okay? Our classrooms, you have to create chair for yourself. Remember the day my parents, they actually tried, they gave me money, they made a chair for me, and I took it to school. I was like the richest guy in town because my seat had flip over stuff, so I was sitting. And the following morning, I met this big boy on my seat. I was just like this. And the guy told me, what are you looking for? I said, my chair. Is there a point to it? I couldn't point. That was how I lost the chair. So, what am I saying? After leaving this secondary school, I waited for admission. It didn't come. First year, second year, third year, please do the mathematics. Keep adding 1 year to about 15. So I will know where we are going to. And when it was about, let me say about third year, my parents were bothered because I used to go pick my younger ones from primary school. And now they were in secondary school and they were almost finishing. And I was still there. All right. So apparently, continuing like that, and one day, actually, during all this while, I don't like being idle, I'm a very active person. So I actually took myself to a welder's shop, you know, welder. And one day I told him, I said, you know, I need to learn this thing and something. He said, oh, no, wala. Just hang by. Whenever just look at it, since you don't want to pay. So I was doing that. And I also worked in sites as bricklayers, as bricklayer rather. Also some other things like that. I remember when I was working in a bakery, it was sliced bread. Hey, come on, don't laugh. It was sliced bread, not 17-hour bread. Come on. So, we are tush. All right. It was a tush place, okay? And something happened one day. You know, I was just a common man. Just one guy seated there. And I was the only person, of course, you know, I went to secondary school. So every other person there finished, either didn't go to school at all or stopped at primary 6. So I was a big boy. There was one afternoon, NAFDAC came in. And they came in and they went to the manager's office. Oh, no, all the normal NAFDAC agents, whatever. I said, let us see the condition of your slicing room. So they came to the slicing room, and then they already told us they were coming. So everybody dressed, apron, all of these things. And they threw a question. I said, I can't remember the question, and they asked. And because they asked in English, there was a problem. So I was the only person that could respond. So I responded so fast, and one of the guys that came said, manager, who is this man? He He's the head of the slicing unit. So, all right. First appointment. After the whole thing, you know, the revanger couldn't, of course, he couldn't reverse it. So I retained that position. Just working for 2 months without getting paid. So I think he was telling me, Ogben, you are not the head of that unit. That was just that. So after waiting for about 7 years to gain admission to the university, of course, very loyal to OAU, so I only applied to OAU. Can you clap for me? Yes. But you know, a child of 7 years will have started working. All right, good. So my father called me and said, young man, I mean, looking at your age, most job description will come with age below 25, right? And at the point I was entering university, 5 days ago, I just clocked 29, so clap for me. Yeah. So at the age of, he just said, well, your age now, you are not in university. You want to study engineering in 5 years. That's 5 plus your age now. That was around 21 or 22, I guess. And he said, you might not get a job. Why don't you just, you know, being a teacher, and my mom too, so he was just trying to look for a shortcut for me. And I told my dad that day, and I told him, though I obtained the exam form, but I have not actually written the exam. I told him I will not look for a job for 1 day. He said, amen. Of course, he was very spiritual. But within me, I knew I had a lot of work to do. I got admission to the University of Ile-Ife, or Obafemi Awolowo University, and then in my year 1, when I saw a lot of students using laptops in White House, I said, man, okay, I need to get one of these things. Actually, when I picked computer engineering, I didn't even know what it was about, because I never touched a computer system. So a friend of mine, very tush guy, said, I'm going to study computer engineering. So I also feel that let's go and study it. So when I got to Ife, I thought they were going to give us computer systems, and it's different give it. So in the first year, I had this roommate, the guy had a laptop. And the first day the guy came to the room, I was using the laptop. I saw something just beside the laptop. And I was trying to, what's the laptop? Yes. But in the school, they taught us this is VDU. But this is flatter. You get, VDU used to have this long stuff. But now this is flatter, so what do we call it? So I asked questions, and they told me what it was. All right, so the guy didn't use the mouse. I was trying to see, what do you do with this mouse? I was trying. Well, out of curiosity, the guy left the room, actually. He didn't touch the mouse eventually. So out of curiosity, I moved close to the laptop. I picked the mouse. Don't laugh. I was showing the screen to see if it, but unfortunately, it didn't work. So that's where I started from. And by the time I was, because of my studies, they taught us a Python programming language, and wow, very cool. Before I left home, I've been fiddling with electronics. So the last project I did before I left for the university was a two-way communication system using radios. So I did that, and it worked for about 120 feet distance, without going to school. So when I got to school, I was looking for avenues to actually expand that knowledge. And when I found programming, that's software development, I was so engrossed with it. And I started doing it. So when I got to year 2, of course, no computer system. So I'll use my money, 5,000 naira a month, stipend, to print out Java books, then suffer it eventually. Of course, I'll suffer it. But I'll still convert to Suya. So I wasn't losing. One of my friends now told me, he said, all my colleagues, CCNA, networking and all this stuff, but you are doing software engineering. Who's going to employ you? I looked at the guy. He was speaking the truth. Because at that point, software engineering in Nigeria was still not there. I mean, people didn't really appreciate them. A lot of the systems we're using were analog and were not really relevant. But the guy said, who will employ you? And I told the guy, I said, well, if there are no software engineering companies in Nigeria, then I'll establish one. And when I said that, I actually meant it. So I started, and from a guy who has never touched a computer, I can tell you, today, I've gotten offers from several, well, I don't have to go, they're already ready for you. But when I finished my final paper, I don't want to go to the detail of the university system. So my final paper, I was writing it, I got a phone call. I couldn't pick an exam hall. So after the paper, I looked at it. I saw Professor Aderomo. He called back, like 30 minutes. I said, where are you? He says, I just finished paper. I just finished my paper now, last paper. Oh, yes, because actually he was following my timetable. And after that, he said, can you meet me now? I met him. There was a meeting slated for the following day. And when I got to the meeting the following day, he said, you have been chosen to head the software engineering section of Center of Excellence in Software Engineering in Nigeria, and then go gather a team, people you can work with, and that was it. I looked at myself, and when I told my dad, he remembered what I told him that one day, I would not look for a job. And that was it. I didn't even look for 1 hour. What really helped me was not because I was very brilliant in school. Sorry, I didn't make a first class. I made a 2-1. I'm very proud to say that. But I actually wish I had made a third class. You know why? So I can prove to that young man who is not doing well academically that no matter what you're doing, no matter what grade you're getting in school, it doesn't account to anything as long as you know what you're doing. Do you get what I'm saying? And when that happened, and my father was like, oh, it was so, well, as if that was all. But you know what? When I got 2 offers from South Africa, I said, man, I've not even served, so I can't go. So I stayed back. InterSwitch called me. I said, I'm not going. Several others like that. But I stayed back. Now, joining there, you know, the offers were like maybe 120, 200 a month. Of course, you know the starting point for graduates now. It's not actually up to that. And over a course of 1 year, I've gotten offers from several companies. And actually now, I got one that was up to about 400,000 a month, which no graduates. Are we together? There is no graduate in Nigeria except other things happen that will earn such an amount. Not that I just threw it open and they said, write it and come. I was saying, I can't come until you give me 400,000. I was just joking, like, of course, I knew it was not possible. The guy said, oh, is it 400,000? Write it and come. Whoa, really? I know I was not joking. So what I'm saying is this. No matter how poor your background is, no, you must have got, I don't know. It depends. I'm very sure I have people like me here who are striving to, you know, make something out of the university system and then maybe get that nice job and then, come on. It has gone past that age where you have to get good grade and you jump into the next job, okay? When you have the first class and you jump on a flight of the first $100 million job, of course not. In the days of my dad, or maybe my grandfather also, I'm very sure our elders here will also testify to that. During your convocation, companies will come queuing, struggling over first-class students, struggling over 2-1. Man, that was great. But now, no. When you have the first class, you have to still move into the market. And we try to decorate it so that to give ourselves hope, and we call it favor market. Whatever, if it's going to favor you, you have to determine that. Now, outside the certificate, you have to do well academically, good. I did well. That's why I told you my class was great. But your certificate will open doors for you. When they come for an interview, of course, they won't come for top class graduates, right? But your skills will keep those doors open. And that's what life holds. I'm standing before you today. I'm telling you that to enjoy the breeze down the hill, the breeze of going down the hill, you must endure the climbing of the hill. And that's the bedrock of my story. Thank you very much.